competencies that are behavioral competencies, the soft skills. How is my communication? How is my customer service? How is my leadership skills? How is my time management skills? And we call these behavioral competencies. In the beginning, in the definition, I talked about the company values, the principles. As a company, you should have certain values and principles defined as a guideline for your business. So if I want to be an open company, good communication, transparent, ethical, I need to cascade these down to the employees as well. And I need to make sure that all my employees are abiding by these principles and these values. Okay? To do so, you add these competencies to their performance reviews. So in the performance review, you don't just measure how well they've done at work or how well they've achieved their sales, but you also measure how ethical they are, how communicative they are, how well do they do customer service. Okay? Because again, skill and competencies are at the core of any talent management system. These are your assets, your people, their skills, what they know, how much they know it. This is what makes you strong as a company. Okay? So in addition to, like I said, the traditional technical soft skills, we have soft skills and we have behavioral skills. And many organizations now, they conduct assessments, behavioral assessments, to see, is this employee a troublemaker? Is this employee a loyal employee? Is he engaged? Okay? So behavioral competencies should be directly linked to the company values and the goals. So what matters when we talk about behavioral competencies is the attitude of the employee and the approach taken to achieve goals and objectives. Like I said, am I coming to work happy? Am I achieving my results in a positive way, positive attitude? So how do you measure this? You should put it as a competency within the performance review. But of course, you cannot quantify them. You cannot have a quantifiable measurement for these soft skills. It's just an observation. But you need to note it down. You need to observe it. You need to let the employee know, listen, you're very negative. You need to change your attitude or else. Okay? And you need to help the person in this process. So some of the behavioral competencies that we could include: leadership, innovation, strategic thinking, flexibility, agility, adaptability, integrity and ethics, like I said, quality. If you want quality service, quality customer service, you want detailed oriented. If you have a customer service department, there's lots of communication going on, so you want people with good communication skills. Okay? And here, when you put these competencies and you try to monitor and measure these competencies, you will be able to see where you have gaps and you'll be able to enhance. So if you need leaders within the company but you don't have anybody with good leadership skills, you know that you need to put in place leadership training. Okay? So again, what we're doing in performance management is not just managing the performance of the organization, but also looking in the organization to see where do we have gaps and enhancing and filling those gaps and closing those gaps. So for behavioral competencies to be successfully managed and measured, they need to be closely aligned to the company values and goals. So what I recommend is you should select, define, and measure those competencies that make most sense to your organization. Do not add leadership skills if you don't need it in your organization. Do not add sales skills if you don't need it within your organization. Add those competencies that are most important to you. And do not add too many of these, because then you will never be able to manage them and enhance them properly. Let's do an exercise. So what I need you to do is select one key responsibility area and list 4 SMART goals for that area. So you can select any area you have, whether it's IT, customer service, finance, etc., and list 4 SMART goals using specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. It's not very easy always to do so, but this is a good exercise so you know that every single goal has to be SMART, okay, in order for you to measure it properly and achieve results.